Here are the top stories for today, May 5, 2020. The government aims to establish 78 new testing centers as part of measures against COVID-19. Malacanang offers a 30,000 peso reward for information on local officials stealing COVID-19 related subsidies. President Duterte approves the extension of the enhanced community quarantine in Albay and Zamboanga City. And volunteer groups come together to provide relief goods to poor communities affected by COVID-19 in eastern Samar. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The government targets to have 78 laboratory testing centers in strategic parts of the country as part of measures to fight the COVID-19 outbreak. National Policy Against COVID-19 Deputy Chief Implementer Vivencio Dizon said 58 more laboratory testing facilities will open until the end of the month. To date, 20 laboratory testing centers are operating nationwide from only 3 testing facilities in February. Dizon said the 58 testing centers are already in the advanced stage of accreditation, while 4 mega swabbing centers in Metro Manila will be completed next week. These swabbing centers are located at the Philippine Sports Stadium inside the Philippine Arena, the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City, Enderun Colleges in Taguig City, and the Palacio de Maynila tent in Rojas Boulevard. Dizon pointed out the need to ramp up testing capacity for the government to quickly identify and isolate those who are infected, as well as to ease the current community quarantine measures, which are slowing down the country's economy. A 30,000 peso reward will be given to those who can report local officials stealing emergency subsidies meant for poor Filipino families affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said President Rodrigo Duterte decided to give the reward after he got furious over reports that a certain Danilo Flores, a kagawad of Hagonoy, Bulacan, was arrested for allegedly pocketing almost half of the cash aid under the government's social amelioration program. Roque said the corrupt officials can be reported through the 8888 Citizens Complaint Hotline.
Sa kagustuhan po ng ating Pangulo na matigil yung pangungurakot pagdating po sa SAP at iba pang ayuda ng gobyerno na ginawa po ni Kagawad Danilo Flores ng Hagonoy, Bulacan. Siya po ay magbibigay ng pabuya ng 30,000 pesos sa lahat po na magre-report ng mga local officials na kumakana o kinukurakot ang mga ayuda para po sa mga mahihirap.
In the same televised meeting, Duterte hurled expletives at Flores for misappropriating funds for COVID-19 response. He also reiterated his warning against corruption amid a prevailing pandemic and warned local officials engaged in corrupt activities that they could be slapped with criminal charges and could be detained if proven guilty.
Nakuha ka pa ng television na may ano doon, Grab, o it's not Grab, it's actually a nakuha ka na hinihingi mo. Mahirap na nga, ikaw may trabaho ka na, kagawad ka, ang kukunin mo pa yung pera ng mahirap. Sinabi ko na sa inyo noon, wag sa panahong ito.
President Duterte rejected anew the idea of a possible resumption of peace talks with the CPP's political wing, the National Democratic Front. In a taped public address, Duterte said there is no hope for peace talks with the CPP founder, Jose Maria Sison. Duterte cautioned government forces from trusting the word of communist insurgents, reminding them to stay vigilant and urging them to kill communist rebels to protect themselves. He says members of the NPA will not think twice about killing them since they were determined to steal their firearms.
Pero be careful because, again, the NPAs are around. Now, there is no longer hope for further talks with Sison. Do not be too confident about it. Pati yung istasyon na nire-raid. Mainit masyado yung M16 pati M14. I know that. They're itching to get it from you. That is why be careful.
The Philippine Army thanks donors of 3 new COVID-19 patient care centers, and close to 300,000 applied for Rapid Pass system. More on this from Chris Mundo.
The Philippine Army on Monday thanked donors of the 3 newly constructed emergency quarantine facilities that will be used in support of COVID-19 containment efforts. The quarantine facilities were donated by architect William T. Jr. of WTA Architecture and Design Studio, Dr. Glenn Angeles of Health Hub Clinic, Vicente Mills Jr. of Rotary Club of Makati, Justin Ongsue of Boys and Philippines, and Brian Ang. 2 of the facilities were constructed at the libingan ng mga bayani at Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City, while the 3rd facility was constructed at the Philippine Army Wellness Center. Meanwhile, DOST Secretary Fortunato de la Peña expressed delight with the growing number of registrations for the Rapid Pass system. As of May 1, there are 298,917 individuals who have registered for the Rapid Pass. Of the number, 221,182 were approved, while 43,044 were declined. The pass system was rolled out in the National Capital Region last April 9 and is still open for those who are authorized to go out of their residence. De la Peña said the Rapid Pass is the DOST's contribution to help the Philippine National Police lessen contacts at the checkpoints. In other news, the Department of Health reports more bed capacities and equipment for COVID-19 patients. Report shows that the country has 12,420 total bed capacity in different health facilities, and there are 1,367 ventilators available, while 461 are currently in use. As of May 3, there are 37,065 beds in local isolation and general treatment areas for COVID-19 cases, or ligtas COVID centers. There are 1,348 beds in mega ligtas COVID-19 facilities dedicated to quarantine and isolation, such as the Philippine International Convention Center, World Trade Center, Rizal Memorial Coliseum, Ninoy Aquino Stadium, and Philippine Arena. Personal protective equipment, the DOH has distributed more than 480,000 coveralls, almost 2.5 million masks, gowns, KN95, N95 face shields, gloves, goggles, head caps, thermal scanners, aprons, non-invasive ventilators, and sanitation tents. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Chris Mundo.
Still to come, Zamboanga del Norte reports its first COVID-19 case. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Kakagaling ko lang ng grocery. Siyempre, hindi ko hahayaan na pumasok ang COVID-19 sa bahay at mapahamak ang pamilya ko. Kaya iiwan ko ang sapatos ko sa labas. At ngayon, maghuhugas ako ng kamay ng 20 seconds. O ayan, wala na ang virus. Tandaan, buhay ng pamilya natin na nakasalalay. Let's hear as one.
Alam niyo ba na pumapasok ang COVID-19 sa ating katawan sa pamamagitan ng mata, ilong at bibig? Kaya lagi kaming conscious dito sa bahay kapag umuubo kami. Lagi kami naghuhugas ng kamay in 20 seconds. Pag lumalabas kami, lagi namin suot ang mask. Lagi lang natin tatandaan mga mamshi. Buhay ng pamilya natin ang nakasalalay dito. Let's heal as one.
Alamin ang tamang paraan ng pag-ubo upang mapigilan ang paglaganap ng Coronavirus Disease 2019. Ugaliing magdala ng panyo o tissue. Kung uubo o babahing, takpan ang buong ilong at bibig gamit ang panyo o tissue. Kung walang dalang panyo o tissue, maaaring gamitin ang braso na pantakip. Kung nakararamdam na kailangan umubo o bumahing, agad na dumistansya sa mga tao sa paligid. Huwag dumura kung saan-saan, gumamit ng tissue at itapon sa basurahan. Ugaliin ang paghuhugas ng kamay at paggamit ng alcohol o hand sanitizer upang mamatay ang mikrobyo. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
President Duterte has approved the recommendation of the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases to include Albay Province and Zamboanga City in the list of areas under enhanced community quarantine until May 15. Duterte's decision was contained in the memorandum signed by Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea on May 2nd. Earlier, the local governments of Zamboanga City and Albay Province have asked the national government to continue the ECQ in their areas due to the continuing threat of COVID-19. On April 30, Duterte signed Executive Order 112, imposing ECQ in high-risk areas and general community quarantine in the rest of the country until May 15. Under EO 112, ECQ is imposed in Metro Manila, Central Luzon except Aurora, Calabarzon, Benguet, Pangasinan, Iloilo Province, Cebu Province, Bacolod City, and Davao City. GCQ with relaxed quarantine measures is being implemented in all low-risk and moderate-risk areas nationwide.
Senator Christopher Lawrence Bongo said Monday is pushing for affordable quality healthcare services to the people in the countryside. Senator Go believes that this is one way to ensure the successful implementation of the proposed Balik Probinsya program. Go said the Department of Health has already started making plans to immediately rejuvenate local healthcare facilities once the COVID-19 crisis is over.
Dahil sa nararanasan natin ngayon, marami na pong Pilipino ang nagsabi na gusto na nilang bumalik sa kanilang mga probinsya nila. Takot lang sila dahil sa kawalan ng trabaho at oportunidad sa mga lugar na babalikan nila. Ito ang kailangang paghandaan natin ngayon dahil ang long-term goal ay dapat mabigyan ng gobyerno ng oportunidad ang babalik probinsya magkaroon ng maayos na kabuhayan, pabahay, trabaho, edukasyon, at health facilities.
The Balik Probinsya program has already garnered the full support of the DOH and the Department of Trade and Industry. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III agreed with Go that congestion in urban centers does increase the risk of an outbreak of a disease. Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez assured that the government would provide incentives for businesses that will open in the countryside. He said the government will also provide financial assistance to those who seek to open micro, small, or medium enterprises in the provinces. Meanwhile, the Senate on Monday adopted Senator Bongo's Balik Probinsya program that aims to decongest Metro Manila, promote robust regional development, and encourage equitable distribution of wealth, livelihood opportunities, and economic growth nationwide. The proposal also aims to better prepare the country in responding to future pandemics and other crises similar to the present COVID-19 pandemic. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Laid Kabagani.
And in our business news, the Philippines secured the top spot in Southeast Asia for budget transparency based on the results of the 2019 Open Budget Survey. The country received an Open Budget Index score of 76, maintaining its position as the most fiscally transparent country in the region while ranking 10th place worldwide. It climbed 9 notches higher to 76 out of 100 from 67 in 2017, exceeding the 2019 and 2021 OBI target scores of 67 and 71 respectively. The transparency score of 61 and above implies comprehensive, timely, and online publication of all 8 key budget documents, including the mid-year review, a feat achieved twice by the country since the onset of the OBS. The score is also noticeably higher than the global average score of 45, as well as that of other Asian countries such as Indonesia, Japan, South Korea, and Thailand. In terms of global ranking, for the first time, the Philippines made it to the top 10 out of 117 countries surveyed worldwide by the International Budget Partnership, or IBP, a substantial jump from its 19th spot in the previous OBS. Contact tracing is underway for Zamboanga del Norte's first reported confirmed COVID-19 case. The Provincial Interagency Task Force on COVID-19 on Monday confirmed the case. Sources say the COVID-19 positive is a Norwegian national who visited his gay partner in this city. The Norwegian and partner reportedly rented a beach house in Barangay Sikayab and was often roaming with different companions. He was admitted on April 26 to a hospital and was tested positive of COVID-19 at the St. Luke's Hospital in Manila. Meanwhile, Western Visayas reported 2 new recoveries from COVID-19 according to the Department of Health Center for Health Development Region 6 on Monday. Dr. Mayan Solita Santa Lucia, head of the DOH CHD6 Health Promotion, said the newly recovered are a 24-year-old male from Tigbawan Town, Iloilo, and a 77-year-old female from Haro, Iloilo City. This brings the total number of recoveries in the region to 29, while the total number of COVID-19 cases remain at 72. The agency also reported a new COVID-19 fatality identified as a 40-year-old male from Bacolod City. For the island province of Guimaras, 5 were already tested and 1 turned out positive, while 4 others are still pending. Iloilo City is set to produce over 200,000 face masks in preparation for the general community quarantine. Meanwhile, San Carlos City accepts complaints regarding the distribution of cash aid. More on this and other news from the provinces from Ruth Abby Gita Carlos.
While under enhanced community quarantine, the local government of Iloilo City is preparing to produce 200,000 washable face masks to be given free to residents of this highly urbanized city. Iloilo City Mayor Jerry Treñas on Monday said there are various initiatives to reach the target number of face masks that will be made by Ilonggo sewers using cheesecloth. The production of face masks is one of the city government's preparations as it gears for the general community quarantine that is expected after the ECQ is lifted on May 15. In Pangasinan, San Carlos City Mayor Julier Resuelo announced on Monday the creation of a grievance committee to address the complaints of the city's residents regarding the social amelioration program, among others. He said his office has been receiving complaints through social media, particularly about lapses by village officials in assessing the qualifications of SAP recipients. Resuelo said the committee will receive complaints until next week. In General Santos City, the local government has designated 3 public schools to host additional patient care centers for suspected cases of COVID-19. Mayor Ronel Rivera said Monday they have identified an initial 13 classrooms that could be converted into isolation facilities for patients from other areas that would be coming into the city. The city government earlier designated the Regional Evacuation Center in Barangay Buwayan here as isolation and quarantine center. Suspected and probable patients with mild to severe symptoms will be handled by the city's newly opened COVID-19 center at the Dr. George P. Royeca Hospital. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Ruth Abby Gita Carlos.
Up next, President Duterte weighs on the legality of stopping the migration of Filipino health workers during the COVID-19 crisis. And volunteer groups come together to provide relief goods to poor communities affected by COVID-19 in eastern Samar. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Mga mommies, pagdating sa COVID-19, dapat hindi tayo kampante. Bagamat hindi nakikita ang sakit na ito ay nakamamatay. At hanggang ngayon wala pa rin lunas. Kaya protektahan natin ang ating pamilya. Laging maghugas ng kamay, huwag hahawakan ng mukha, at manatili sa bahay para makaiwas sa sakit na ito. Tandaan, buhay ng pamilya natin ang nakasalalay dito. Let's hear this one.
Hi, Caps! Kamusta?
Well, ito dahil sa COVID-19, medyo stress.
Okay lang yan, Caps. Napagdaanan ko din yan.
Ano kaya pwede natin gawin, no?
Kung nararamdaman mo na gulong-gulo ka na sa mga naririnig mo, sa mga nababasa mo, mag-pause ka muna, saka ka huminga ng malalim.
Buti na lang tumawag ka. Iba talaga pag may nangangamusta.
A strong body starts with a strong mind.
Tama. Let's heal as one.
Tandaan ang tamang paraan ng paghuhugas at paglilinis ng kamay upang makaiwas sa iba't ibang karamdaman. Basain ng tubig ang mga kamay at sabunin. Unang sabunin ang mga palad at ang likod ng mga kamay. Kuskusin na maigi ang pagitan ng mga daliri at maging ang mga kuko. Isunod ang pagitan ng mga hinlalaki at kuskusin ng paikot ang mga dulo ng mga daliri sa magkabilang palad. Banlawang mabuti ang mga kamay sa malinis na tubig at patuyuin ang mga kamay gamit ang single-use towel o air dryer. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
President Rodrigo Duterte is weighing the legality of stopping the migration of health workers in the front lines of the fight against the coronavirus disease 2019 pandemic. Duterte on Monday night said he would discuss with Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara whether it was legal to stop the migration of health workers. Duterte clarified that the reason was that he did not want the workers to return to the country as among the COVID-19 fatalities. Last April 13, Duterte expressed concern that the country might run out of health workers to treat local patients if they went abroad. However, he admitted that he would not blame Filipino medical professionals for wanting to work abroad following an increased global demand for them due to the pandemic. Earlier, the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration temporarily suspended the deployment of all healthcare workers amid the spread of COVID-19 worldwide.
But this one, if I send you to a war front, the enemy is the COVID, the microbes, parang maawa ako. Please do not misunderstand me. I am making it clear now. I do not want you to go there and come back in a coffin. That's my only argument, if you may, because you are Filipinos at mahal ko ang mga buhay ng kababayan ko.
And in our foreign news, President Donald Trump has vowed that the United States will have a coronavirus vaccine before the new year. Trump on Sunday said they are pushing hard to develop a vaccine as early as possible. According to experts, a vaccine could take 12 to 18 months to develop. Trump also revised his prediction regarding the deaths that would result in total. In mid-April, he said up to 65,000 people would die due to the pandemic, but now he said the numbers could increase to 80 or 90,000. As of Sunday, the disease has infected more than 1.1 million people in the United States and killed more than 67,000, according to data from Johns Hopkins University. In late March, the White House's coronavirus response team said between 100,000 and 240,000 could die even if the United States follows social distancing and public health guidelines. Without any intervention, it is forecasted to have 1.5 to 2 million deaths. A group representing the fitness industry is urging the Interagency Task Force for Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases to allow the reopening of fitness establishments during a general community quarantine. The International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness Philippines is adopting the position that a strong and healthy body is the best defense against COVID-19. In a letter, IFBB Philippines President Rowena Walters appealed to the IATF to allow the fitness industry to operate under strict measures and protocols in hygiene and sanitation. She said the appeal is also made on behalf of thousands of gym owners, trainers, and workers who were displaced due to the continued business closure. Among the IFBB's proposed measures are shortened gym hours, limiting and scheduling of gym usage, using dividers between gym machines, social distancing with clients, and prohibiting group classes and sparring. Walter said the IFBB is willing to sit down with the IATF to discuss the so-called new normal of the fitness industry in the months to come. As Borongan City in eastern Samar continues to keep its guard up against COVID-19, relief volunteers have come together to give assistance to poor communities there. Alumni of the Eastern Samar National Comprehensive High School banded together on April 19 to provide food supplies to remote areas in the city, which include the villages of Kanyupay, Cabalagnan, and San Gregorio. The group also provided medical supplies to Artesia District Hospital and the Women's Health Department at the Eastern Samar Provincial Hospital. Their donation drive has collected over 130,000 pesos as of April 26. Meanwhile, other ESNCHS batch provided food packs and bottled water to men in uniform, manning checkpoints, barangay responders, and other volunteers on April 25. The group also expressed solidarity to the frontliners hard at work amid the general community quarantine imposed in the city. Both groups prepared more activities dedicated to underserved communities and remote areas in the city. Let's take another look at today's biggest stories. The government aims to establish 78 new testing centers as part of measures against COVID-19. Malacanang offers a 30,000 peso reward for information on local officials stealing COVID-19 related subsidies. President Duterte approves the extension of the enhanced community quarantine in Albay and Zamboanga City. And volunteer groups come together to provide relief goods to poor communities affected by COVID-19 in eastern Samar. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check out more news content, check our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also, watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC13. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day, stay at home.